Welcome to Quiz Time. I'm your quiz master, Sean, and I've got 100 questions for you about wartime. So let's see what we know, what we remember. Let's have a little bit of fun together, shall we? And of course, let's begin with question number 1. The Vietnam War began in 1955 and ended at the fall of Saigon in which year? 1965, 1975, or 1985? And the year was 1975. In 1899, the Boers took over 3 cities: Ladysmith, Kimberley, and which other? Mafeking, Soweto, or Polokwane? It was Mafeking. What is the scorched earth policy? A natural disaster, a phenomenon, or a military strategy? Scorched earth policy is a military strategy. How many days was the Battle of Spion Kop fought for? 1 day, 3 days, or 8 days? And that was fought for 1 day, the 23rd and 24th of January, 1900. The 4 Balkan states declared war on which empire in 1912? The Durrani Empire, the Ottoman Empire, or the Chalukya Empire? They declared war on the Ottoman Empire. The French Revolution was a series of events that unfolded in which years? 1785 to 1790, 1783 to 1796, or 1787 to 1799? The French Revolution unfolded in 1787 to 1799. When did the attack on Pearl Harbor occur? 10 August 1941, December 7th, 1941, or September 25th, 1941? December 7th, 1941, a day that will live in infamy. Who were the flyboys in World War I? American aviators, German aviators, or Turkish aviators? The flyboys were American aviators. When did the Second Barbary War take place? 1812 to 1813, 1815 to 1816, or 1817 to 1818? The Second Barbary War took place from 1815 to 1816. When was Auschwitz established? Auschwitz was established in 1940. What nationality was Che Guevara? Che Guevara was Argentinian. What year did the Falklands War take place? 1982, 1979, or 1987? The Falklands War took place in 1982. In which below year did Napoleon Bonaparte become the Emperor of France? 1820, 1804, or 1836? Napoleon became Emperor of France in 1804. In which country was Bin Laden born? Syria, Yemen, or Saudi Arabia? Bin Laden was born in Saudi Arabia, Riyadh specifically. Who was Franz Ferdinand? The Archduke of Austria Este, PM of Austria Este, or governor of Austria, Este? Franz Ferdinand was the Archduke of Austria. Who was Shaka Zulu? The governor of Tanzania, the president of Swaziland, or the leader of the Zulu kingdom? He was the leader of the Zulu kingdom. In which conflict did the term guerrilla warfare originate? The Soiliot War, the Peninsular War, or the Kirkholden War? That originated in the Peninsular War. What military rank did Dwight Eisenhower hold before becoming President of the United States? Was he a general, a colonel, or a lieutenant? Dwight Eisenhower was a general. What was the title of Hitler's autobiography? Mein Validjat, Mein Steppenwolf, or Mein Kampf? It was Mein Kampf. What was the Waffen-SS? The armed wing of the SS, an infantry soldier of the SS, or a military unit of the SS? It was the armed wing of the SS. Who supported North Vietnam in the Vietnam War? The United States, China, or Germany? North Vietnam was supported by the Chinese. Who was the British commanding officer at the beginning of the Anglo-Boer War? Redvers Buller, Gerald Templer, or Robert Saleh? And it was Redvers Buller. When was the term scorched earth first used? 1935, 1941, or 1937? Scorched earth as a term was first used in 1937 in a report of the Sino-Japanese conflict. Who reigned victorious in the Battle of Spion Kop? Was that a British victory, a Boer victory, or a Pyrrhic victory? It was a Boer victory. What league did Bulgaria, Greece, Montenegro, and Serbia form in 1912? The Cold League, the League of Nations, or the Balkan League? They formed the Balkan League. What was Napoleon's full name? His full name was Napoleon de Bonaparte. Who was the monarch of France at the outbreak of the French Revolution? King Louis XI, King Louis XVI, or King Louis IX? It was King Louis XVI. Which below country launched the attack on Pearl Harbor? Japan, India, or Israel? It was Japan who launched the attack on Pearl Harbor. Which was the primary aircraft used by the flyboys in World War I? The EQ-4B, the SPAD-13, or the KC-10? They flew the SPAD-13. Who were the primary adversaries in the Second Barbary War? Azerbaijan and Barbary States, United and Barbary States, or Estonia and Barbary States? It was United and Barbary States. What was the main purpose of Auschwitz? Human trafficking, slavery, or was it a concentration camp? Auschwitz was a concentration camp. What role did Che Guevara play in the Cuban Revolution? Was he a strategist, a soldier, or a general? Che Guevara was a strategist. Which two countries were involved in the Falklands War? South Africa and the UK, Germany and the UK, or Argentina and the UK? The Falklands War involved Argentina and the United Kingdom. What was the name of the terrorist organization founded by bin Laden? Al-Qaeda, the Taliban, or Hamas? Bin Laden founded Al-Qaeda. Where was Franz Ferdinand assassinated? Mostar, Sarajevo, or Banja Luka? He was assassinated in Sarajevo. Which military form was introduced by Shaka Zulu? Buffalo hoof, the buffalo tail, or the buffalo horn? That would be the buffalo horn. Who is credited with coining the term guerrilla warfare? Thomas Paine, Francisco Mina, or Javier Villard? And that would be Francisco Mina. What was the code name for the Allied invasion of Normandy? Operation Overlord, Operation Overload, or Operation Overlead? That was Operation Overlord. In which year did Hitler become Chancellor of Germany? 1929, 1936, or 1933? Hitler became Chancellor of Germany in 1933. Who was the Commander-in-Chief of the Waffen-SS? Heinrich Himmler, Erich von Manstein, or Otto Skorzeny? The commander was Heinrich Himmler. In which year did U.S. military involvement end in the Vietnam War? 1971, 1973, or 1976? U.S. military involvement ended in 1973. Who was the president of South Africa during the Boer War? Chris Hunis, Marius Viljoen, or Paul Kruger? It was Paul Kruger. Which below country was the first to use the scorched earth strategy? Eastern Europe, ancient Scythia, or Central Asia? The first was ancient Scythia, southern Siberia. How many meters high is the Spion Kop summit? 1,410 feet, 1,387 feet, or 1,316 feet? It is 1,410 feet high. In what year did the First Balkan War end? 1921, 1916, or 1913? It ended in 1913. Which event marked the symbolic start of the French Revolution? Food shortages, the storming of the Bastille, or the American Revolution? It was the storming of the Bastille. What type of military installations were targeted during the Pearl Harbor attack? Naval and Air, Armory and Base, or Garrison and Presidio? They were naval and air installations. Where did the Flyboys conduct their operations? Were they in Slovakia, Albania, or France? The Flyboys flew in France. What significant event marked the end of the Second Barbary War? The Battle of Cape Horn, the Battle of Cape Cornwall, or the Battle of Cape Gata? It was the Battle of Cape Gata. How many people were estimated to have died at Auschwitz? 2.3 million, 1.1 million, or 1.7 million? 1.1 million people were estimated to have been killed at Auschwitz. What ideology did Che Guevara espouse? Was he a Marxist revolutionary, a syndicalist revolutionary, or an anarchist revolutionary? Che Guevara was a Marxist revolutionary. What was the main cause of the Falklands War? Economic decline, a territorial dispute, or religious turmoil? The Falklands War was a territorial dispute. What was the name of Napoleon's famous military campaign in Russia? Was it the Russian campaign? Was it the Campagne de Russie? Or was it the French campaign? It was the Russian campaign. Where was bin Laden hiding when he was killed in 2011? Shaman, Pakistan, Hafizabad, Pakistan, or Abbottabad, Pakistan? Bin Laden was in Abbottabad, Pakistan. Who assassinated Franz Ferdinand? Mohammed Mehmed Basik, Gavrilo Princip, or Trifko Grabez? It was Gavrilo Princip. What was the name of the capital of Zulu Kingdom under Shaka's rule? Bulawayo, Harare, or Gweru? It was Bulawayo. Who wrote the book The Art of War? Li Qiuming, Wing Hubin, or Sun Tzu? The Art of War was authored by Sun Tzu. What Eisenhower's famous farewell address warning against 1961? The military economic complex, the military industrial complex, or the military residential complex? Eisenhower was warning the U.S. against the military industrial complex. What was the name of the paramilitary organization formed by Hitler? The Sturmabteilung, the Schnellstrupp, or the Volkssturm? It was the Sturmabteilung. Which Waffen-SS division was responsible for numerous war crimes? The 10th SS Panzer Division, the 5th SS Panzer Division, or the 2nd SS Panzer Division? It was the 2nd SS Panzer Division. After the Laotian War, when did all three countries in the Vietnam War become communist states? 1976, 1973, or 1978? The year was 1976. Who led the Conservative ministry in Britain in 1900? Lord Kinnock, Lord Fellows, or Lord Salisbury? It was Lord Salisbury. Who used the scorched earth policy in Africa? Lord Wellesley, Lord Kitchener, or Lord Canning? It was Lord Kitchener. Where was the Imperial Light Infantry raised? Durban, Pretoria, or Johannesburg? It was Durban. What warm waters did Russia want access to? The Red Sea, the Indian Ocean, or the Mediterranean Sea? They wanted access to the Mediterranean. Who was the author of the Declaration of the Right of Man and of the Citizen? Ernest Hemingway, the National Assembly, or Joseph Heller? That was written by the National Assembly. How many American casualties resulted from the attack on Pearl Harbor? There were 2,400 American casualties. What was the significance of the flyboys? Aerial combat, desert combat, or missile defense? The flyboys were involved in aerial combat. What was the outcome of the Second Barbary War? A reduction of unemployment, the correction of injustices, or the suppression of piracy? It was the suppression of piracy. Who was the commandant of Auschwitz? Kurt Deluge, Rudolf Höss, or Paul Hauser? The commandant of Auschwitz was Rudolf Höss. What iconic image is associated with Che Guevara? Him wearing a matching set, him wearing a kitty dress, or him wearing a beret? It was him wearing a beret. How long did the Falklands War last? 10 weeks, 16 weeks, or 12 weeks? The Falklands War lasted 10 weeks. Where was Napoleon exiled to? Keppel, West Falkland, or St. Helena? Napoleon was exiled to St. Helena. What was the operation name leading up to the killing of bin Laden? Operation Neptune Spear, Operation Rolling Thunder, or Operation Red Dawn? That was Operation Neptune Spear. What was the immediate consequence of Franz Ferdinand's assassination? A political crisis, war, or economic outcry? The immediate consequence of Franz Ferdinand's assassination was war between Austria and Serbia. Who succeeded Shaka Zulu as ruler? Dingane, Umpande, or Dinuzulu? His successor was Dingane. Which famous guerrilla leader played a pivotal role in the Cuban Revolution? Uber Matos, Raul Castro, or Fidel Castro? It was Fidel Castro. What was the name of Eisenhower's memoir, published after his presidency? The White House Years, The White House Down, or The White House Secrets? It was The White House Years. What event marked a significant escalation in Nazi persecution of Jews? The Night of Darkness, the Night of Broken Glass, or the Night of Pogrom? It was Kristallnacht, the Night of Broken Glass. Which Waffen-SS division was primarily composed of foreign volunteers? Totenkopf, Das Reich, or Viking? It was Viking. Vietnam was split into two parts in 1954. Who controlled North Vietnam? The Viet Dron, the Viet Minh, or the Viet Cong? It was the Viet Minh. Louis Botha and Jan Smuts were generals of which guerrilla campaign? The Bitter Reindeers, the Bantus, or the Vaginders? They were the Bitter Reindeers. Which country used the scorched earth strategy on their own land? Estonia, Germany, or Russia? It was Russia. Who commissioned Winston Churchill as lieutenant? General Buller, General Pleasant, or General Frederick? It was General Buller. Under which policy did the German Empire turn the Ottoman Empire into its own de facto colony? Nach Western-Fahren, Drang nach Osten, or Schnell Entkommen? It was Drang nach Osten. True or false? Committee of Public Safety was established during the Reign of Terror. Is that true or is it false? That's true. What was the consequence of the attack on Pearl Harbor? Civil unrest, political unrest, or the U.S. declared war on Japan? The U.S. declared war on Japan. What was the Lafayette Escadrille? A soldier, a squadron, or a military reference? And that would be a squadron. Who was the president of the U.S. during the Second Barbary War? James Monroe, James Madison, or John Adams? And that was James Madison. Name the Nazi doctor known for conducting experiments on prisoners at Auschwitz. Dr. Fritz Fischer, Dr. Hans Eisele, or Dr. Josef Mengele? It was Dr. Josef Mengele. How did Che Guevara die? Was it by execution, suicide, or was he killed in action? Che Guevara died by execution. Who emerged victorious in the Falklands War? Was it Georgia, Argentina, or was it England? England, or the UK, came out victorious. What was the name of Napoleon's first wife? Josephine, Andrea, or Mary? Napoleon's first wife was named Josephine. When did bin Laden release his first videotaped message after the September attacks? November 2001, October 2001, or December 2001? It was October of 2001. Name the nationalist group responsible for Franz Ferdinand's assassination. Was it the Black Heart, the Black Foot, or the Black Hand? It was the Black Hand. Which was the military operation led by General Eisenhower during World War II? Operation Torch, Operation Ignite, or Operation Fury? It was Operation Torch. What was the primary weapon used by Shaka Zulu warriors? The Ikwa, the assegai, or the musket? Their weapon was primarily the assegai, a short stabbing spear. And question 100. Which military strategist is known for his advocacy of guerrilla warfare? Mao Zedong, Zhou Enlai, or Lin Biao? And that would be Mao Zedong. Thanks for playing Quiz Time. Drop your score in the comments, please, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any Quiz Time when they come out. Again, thanks for playing. We'll catch you in the next one.